Hi. Guys, my hands, as you guys can kind of see, are a little bit inflamed right now because the weather was super dry, even though I've been moisturizing all day. So, ignore if they're a little red, please. Hi, everyone. Hi, Baron. Hi, Conan. Hi, Ravius. Hi, Dot. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Jabronis. How you doing? Lynx, thank you so much for
hands
19
looking
months.
Beautiful as always.
Thank you, Lynx, making me feel confident again. Thank you very much. We got 18 inches down here in New Jersey of snow, eh? Damn. 18 inches. We got like maybe an inch total over the last 24 hours. So, oh, snow. Keep signs. Where was your mind at? Okay, working hands is up next. I have this one still that I need to finish. I'm not about to buy another one. This has been good for the most part, but today my hands aren't having it. I don't know what it is with my hands today. Since I woke up, they've been like cut up because they've been so dry too. But once this is done, I'm going to try the working hands one because everyone's been saying that. This one here has been awful. Like, sorry, not the cream, but my hands have been awful today. Today, my Ruberhose Jane came in with no backplate. And my shawarma came in with no sauce? Jellin, listen. I don't know what happened today. Today seems like it was not a good day for you. I'm here for you. When you say the shawarma came with no sauce, they just put it in like the bread and then just cut up some chicken or something? Explain the no sauce one. Yeah, I would agree. I'm with Ad on this. Honestly, you can get the back plate, but the sauce is hard to come by. Tell us what happened. What up, my boy? What's up, Daz? Hi, Gianni. How you doing? How you guys all doing today? How you doing? Today is going to be a very chill stream today, guys. We're taking a look at a board. We're going to be rebuilding it, sort of. But believe it or not, like today's board is actually pretty fire stock, so it was a bowl. They usually put the sauce on the side. I even ordered extra sauce. Oh my god, they shorted you on that? Was it like an Uber Eats thing? Can you get your money back? Loved the HE Switch video. You guys liked it? That video was so nerve-wracking to put out. So I was sponsored by Milktooth. They just said, hey, do you want to do a video? As long as it's about Hall Effect, like, go for it. And I was like, cool, I had this idea. And they're like, cool, we'll sponsor the video. I was like, that's awesome. So it was just like HE switches that I've been doing. So they were awesome to work with. But I thought it'd be fun to pay a little tribute, just like I did with the tournament video that was also sponsored by Milktooth, to kind of do it in like Milktooth style, with like the B-roll for the switches. But yeah, I hope everyone had fun with that. I'm going to be doing another top 5 video soon. I was supposed to do a whole bunch of those Switch videos with some other brands, but a lot of brands have kind of just like, not because of Chinese New Year, but just this year in general, they've just kind of flopped. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do it myself. I'm also going to do like top 5 best chatters. Damn. But yeah, I'm going to do some other ideas with that. Just got the raids, just waiting for the Kafka. Dude, I think the Kafka is amazing. It's so good. Got some Astrodomes in, and I'm very excited to test them out. Would love an EC Dome video in a similar style one. The thing is, I don't think I have enough parts for that. I would have to really get into the weeds and order some stuff. Hello, Mr. Bowl. Got $7 back, but I'd rather have the sauce. Gee, 8 hours in the East Coast blizzard. God damn, John. You doing work. At least to give you some money back. It's Tuesday morning here in Indonesia, and now I'm using my low-budget board from Swag Keys. Can you guess? Is it the Eve? The keyboard has an awesome feel and sound. For me, warm regards. Thank you, Ross. Always love seeing you here, dude. It's great that the HE switches and boards are finally at a point where they sound good. Listen, I actually legitimately enjoyed doing that Kafka sound test video with the 5 switches. I have it right over here, just like right next to me. But the Kafka with the RAID switches, which now people have told me there's like another version of these like EC Hall Effect stuff. I gotta try that too. I'm just like over the moon with some of the stuff that's been coming out. But I think the next top 5 video I'm going to do is probably going to be like, and it's always tough, linear switches. Maybe kind of paralleling my article, but then also I was thinking top 5 keyboards, but it makes no sense to do that because none of the keyboards are available to buy. Like, none of the stuff I would put in top 5. So it might even be pointless. Maybe it'd be a fun watch, but... Just finished my first day at a new job, and I'm so hyped to be able to consistently catch your streams. I'm happy you're here, Saron. Thank you, thank you. Keyboard people need another name for creamy. I don't disagree. I think creamy is a weird word for a sound. I don't particularly find it very appealing, but I get you. Just got your granite switches and I think they feel great. Still exploring configs. Any advice when it comes to plate or even boards? The granite switches excel with aluminum plates or carbon fiber plates. They are a bit more of a bassy switch overall. Like, there's definitely a depth to them. 100% pair them with something aluminum. I would even say like granite switches are amazing alphas. You can get good space bars out of granites, but oof, they hit as alphas. Maybe try something like a milky yellow or a cherry for a space bar. But they've quickly become like, when I'm pairing boards now, a lot of the times I'm like, yeah, granites and a cherry space bar. Boom. That's like my combo. Granite alu plate on my Sebas was generational with the Nixie spacebar. I'm glad you think so, Gakachino. I also like, I just think they're like so perfect for alphas. Ranking every JW quiz, dude, they'd be like all -5. Mr. Duma, thank you so much for the prime. I appreciate you, man. What's up, Box? How you doing? Is the QK65 Mark III legit? Is that the one with the little screen on the side? I think, if that's the one I'm thinking of, I think that one there is just okay. Thanks, man. I'll try them on my Encore Series 3. Right now I have them on my Sonnet, and they're not as loud as I want them to be. What plate? I think with the mode stuff, I'll be completely real with you. The mode stuff depends on which... Because even my milky yellows are kind of light in the Encore, which is like surprising. I think with mode stuff, it depends on what gasket thing you're using. So perhaps try like the thicker gasket, like the black gaskets. But yeah, I would say the mode boards do tend to lean a little bit more subdued. So I actually scored a green walnut copper Encore on Mech Market a few days ago. How much did you pay? I have to sell my Andromeda still. I posted it on like the Discord, but like apparently the Discord kind of stinks. I gotta use Reddit. So I'm gonna probably post my Andromeda there. I'm gonna lower the price, I think, by another 20 bucks or something. Put some HMX on a top mount Sonnet for my brother and it was loud. I think HMX switches are just loud in general. they're pretty crazy. They are. Do you like Gator on FCs? I don't think I've tried those. Like right now, my goal for trying switches is more Hall effect stuff. Linear stuff, as much as I love my MX switches, no doubt. Scooped, quack, quack, quack. How you doing, Scooped? Thank you so much for 33 months, bro. As much as I love my linear MX switches, I will admit, MX switches are a little dull. HE switches are fun, but okay, I gotta say something. People were giving me Hall effect switch suggestions. And some guy was like, you got to try these out. And I was like writing them down. I was like, okay, let me take a look at these. I looked up the 5 switches he suggested. I kid you not, guys. 5 sets of switches was over $500. Like with shipping and stuff. Some of these Hall effect switches, they are selling for, and I kind of want to explore this a little bit. They are selling for almost like, I think 70 of one was almost like $85. And USD. So like when you convert it, it's over 100 CAD. I saw a comment telling you that we were 6 months behind. I understand that comment, and I'm not like mad about that comment. It did kind of make me go, okay. But I went to go look up those switches, and all of those switches, because that was part of the switches I looked up to, were very expensive. I gotta say, man, I was watching some of the reviews on those switches. They don't sound any different. Apparently there's some like different tech inside them for, you know, for like non-modded switches that are factory stock that like I would probably want to tune up and tweak. Holy smokes. But yeah, I do think some of those prices are criminal. Criminal. Makes no sense. So I think that's kind of maybe what I want to explore next video when I'm doing Hall Effect stuff, is just like some of the insane pricing. Love HMX Hydra's doing this. Please try them. Also, Extra Prius, how you doing? How's life? Their switches will make me game better, just like my chair will make me game better. It's just like, the truth is, and I think we've talked about this, like there's no definitive proof that these switches will make you feel like game better. Busy but good, how are you? It's one of those things where like I feel busy, but I'm not as busy as I think I am. It's weird because like I think I'm at one of those points now where like I've gotten some stuff on lock that I'm able just to do it, but before I wasn't able to do it as fast. Like, but I am now, and it still feels like I'm busy, but kind of not really, I guess. I saw those cool rubber dome Hall Effect switches from your last stream. I had the VOD watching. They piqued my interest. I gotta say, they are probably one of the more unique products out there, having Hall Effect EC style like rubber dome switches. And apparently there's another one that I should be checking out. I'm going to be ordering those this week, and I'm probably going to make another little video for that soon once they arrive. I don't know when they'll come in, but apparently they're even better. And I kind of want to build up. I think my next goal, yeah, the XVXs. My next goal when it comes to like building a Hall Effect keyboard is I want to build one so it's the perfect hybrid keyboard. I don't know what case I'd use. Maybe the Kafka. But I want to build one where I can be like, yo, this is amazing.
Yo, hey, hi. Drink your vitamins and take your water,
I have
everyone.
vitamins technically in here. Please do. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting like a TMR PCB of some sort, but I'm trying to plan it all out. I started doing that today as well, like what I'm going to do to make my perfect. And I was thinking about the Overture as well, because I have some of the older Overtures here, but I want to do the perfect EC board. So I gotta, or not EC board, Hall Effect board. I gotta like plan it all out, but I'm so excited to do that. Oh, the PCBs for the Tofu 60. I'm using the Tofu 60 right now.
PCBs for the Tofu 60/65 3.0.
A mode into EC would be so cool as well, man. But yeah, on another note though, and kind of segueing into today's stream, we'll have a few opportunities to chat here because I'm going to be slightly rebuilding one of today's boards. Outside of Hall Effect, I have another board that I've been testing for the last... I think it's, let me tell you guys actually, maybe I should look this up beforehand. I think it's been about a month and a half. Let me see. It has been, yeah, about since the beginning of November. So I've been testing this. I would say not as a everyday thing. There were some days I did swap off due to testing some other products. But I would say like if I played, honestly, I've been playing games a lot these days. And also using my Windows computer as like a hybrid workstation. I would say about 5 days out of the week, I've been using this board just to test it. And it was something that, it was an interesting experience kind of coming into this. So we'll just talk about what it is. It's a Ducky keyboard. I'll show you guys the boxes. There's 3 different ones. They did send this out for me to take a look at, so this is going to be a sponsored stream. However, I'm going to be completely honest, as I normally am. It won't affect anything I say, nor did they tell me to say anything at all. They sent me these. Here's how it kind of went. They said, Alex, if we send you these, can you just like use them, see how you feel? And there was never like talks of doing content for this. This was just, they wanted some opinions. I was using this and I enjoyed this so much for playing games. I don't absolutely love the way these things look. I'll be completely real with you guys. Like, they look okay. But when I was using these, There was a point where I was playing games with this board, and I was thinking, oh, this is like a nice feeling board. And at first, I didn't know prices for any of these. I thought this new series from Ducky was probably going to be like a few $100 or something. I don't know. I was just assuming this was going to be like $150, $200. When I saw the pricing for these, I was pretty shocked because it starts off at $70. And they're using, and it's going to love this, they're using switches that, again, I didn't know what they were at first, but when I found out, I was like, that's why I like them so much. They're using KTT switches for their linear models. I think all of these are linear. I haven't opened all of them yet, only opened one because I've been using strictly the 75 for gaming. But they're using KTT linears, which made me so happy to see that Ducky is using a brand that I really like for some of these like entry-level boards. So again, I've been using this pretty non-stop. I did try to clean it up as much as I can, but sorry, there's going to be some like dust on this because again, it's been on my desk. It's a fun little project from Ducky. There are going to be some negatives and some positives to this. So I have a few things that we're going to be doing with this today. First, we're going to just kind of talk about it and then unbox the 65. And then we're going to take out the switches in one of these and rebuild it with something else, although I really don't think you need to. But fun project from Ducky. I mean, I would even say past a gamer board, I actually really enjoyed just using this as just like a little hybrid workboard. And to me, this is comparable to how the Eve 65 was in terms of like price point and quality. Like you get a keyboard that is plastic essentially, but it feels more premium. And I think that's kind of the same feeling I had with the Eve 65. It is a plastic case, yeah. And here's the stock sound out of this. So we'll just jump right into the stock sound, then we'll talk more about the board. And then we'll talk about the visuals. Because the stock sound is kind of what drew me in. And again, this might need some tweaking just because I've been using this for what? Actually, technically, since the beginning of November, so it'd be almost 3 months. It's not bad for a stock little plastic board, and it does have like lots of foam. So again, this is going to be pretty foamy for people who don't, you know, want that. That's totally fine. Still better than the Nama, yeah. But like I said, it's just such a fun little project that I was like, you know what? I guess we kind of have to make some content on this because it's very rare that I find boards that I like that are kind of pre-built and affordable. Usually there's tons of stuff wrong with them and I just can't really like support it. But this is one of those boards, and I've always really liked Ducky stuff. I've always had a soft spot for Ducky. They make good products. They do. And they have always made good products. I feel like they've had one major miss, which is maybe that really expensive board that they came out with that one time, but kind of at the height of custom boards. But this one's fun. Now, visually, I do wish some of the colors of this maybe were toned down. I think this would have been way better, because if we look at this visually, this would have been way better had it not gone to a blue accent, and this is not me being biased towards blue. I think if they made this like grayscale all around, it would have made a lot more sense instead of just picking the blue version. I hope they have more colors down the road. I think they are going to have more colors. But for what it's worth, if this was just black and gray, this would have been awesome. Because I kind of even like that this has the extra delete key up here next to the knob. It's really nice. The overall design aesthetic, though, for a cheap... Again, this one here I think is $79, but the 65 is $69. So for an $80 board that's full in with KTT switches, I think the aesthetic is quite nice, to be honest. It's not a bad aesthetic at all. We have a decent little side profile with some RGB, which I can plug in to show you guys. Oh, my pen just fell. Actually, I can just turn this on to wireless, I believe. Although it might not be charged. It is charged. A decent little side profile. It gets like some of that gamery, you know, RGB glow, which I think people have come to expect with some of these kind of boards. However, if you're into backlight, it is gorgeous for perky RGB. You won't really notice too much of this stuff on the side. Like when I was playing games in a dark room, it wasn't overly bright to the point where it's like flooding the desk. But it is nice to have some perky. Honestly, when I'm playing games, I don't really need it, but you can have it on, which is fun to have. Past that, the board is badged on the front. I'm going to be honest, I think badging on the front was a bit of a misstep. I think they should have put the badge, realistically, on the back. Would have made more sense over here. So you're constantly looking at the word Ducky. And then you have this little knob, which has a little, the Ducky logo on it, which I actually don't mind. And the knob actually feels really good as well. It's one of the few knobs that like actually has a nice step to it. It's consistent. But again, would I have put this logo on the knob? No, I think the badge does the job of showing what brand it is. And again, I think the badge could have looked better on the back. Now, aesthetically, it does have, I guess some more stuff about the visuals here. It does have indicators here on the right side, which I always appreciate, as well as a battery icon. And then we even have our 2.4 and Bluetooth switch, as well as our wired switch, USB-C. I do like that it has this little hidden spot over here for our connector. I know this is not a popular take, but I actually, if a board's gonna offer wireless stuff, I love when it's part of the keyboard itself. There are elegant ways to implement it for more expensive customs, but like having stuff here with just toggles is so convenient for me, and I hope a lot of other people find it convenient as well. So right away, like there's a lot of stuff I really like about this. You have, the adjustable feet. I have never found the need to do that though. It's perfect the way it is for me. I don't remember the exact tipping angle. I think it was 6 degrees, but I'll have to double check. And then comfort-wise, the board is pretty soft, even though this does have a crap ton of foam. It does have a little bit of give. I would say it falls perfectly into what I always describe anything that uses gaskets.
I hate having to carry a keycap puller and small flat pointy thingy to turn on the wireless on
dude, I
Romeo
hate that stuff too,
64.
AMD. Hate it, dude. But it does have decent gaskets in it, which kind of make it somewhat bouncy, and then it isolates very well. But again, I do wish they made this a little bit more visually calmed down. Like, I don't think it needed to have the blue. I think this could have been a little bit more monochromatic and kind of still keep its identity. Because what if you don't like this baby blue? Then you're kind of stuck with it. Again, I think there's other colors, and I hope there's other colors down the road. But yeah, it is a bit of a tough sell for if you don't like blue.
Good evening
right?
from EU, Alex.
Good evening,
Finally can
Running.
tune in again.
Dude, good to see you here. Overall, though, if they had done some of those little things, it's not a bad little looking board. You can take off the knob, but it's still going to be a knob there. Now, I would say misstep, not even misstep. I don't even know if this is considered a misstep, but I'm going to consider it because I am a custom keyboard channel. Misstep number 1. Opening the board is pretty much out of the question. You're going to have to pry it open because there's plastic clips, which I understand. We've even seen the Smurf do that recently, and that's part of the custom keyboard world. So unfortunately, there is no opening this up to remove stuff unless you really want to dive into the weeds of taking this apart. That was like my major kind of just shrug moment. But then I really thought about it, and I think this, and we'll consider this like not competition, but like an alternative to someone who might buy something like the Eve 65. There's technically more value in this because with the Eve 65, for example, which is a $50 kit, you still have to buy switches, keycaps, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe lubricant, stuff like that for your board, stabilizers for your board to work. At $69 for the 65, it makes a lot of sense, and you get decent. I'd say you get really decent switches with this. And Ducky's keycaps have always been pretty good. I think my main thing that I want to see from Ducky, though, is being able to open this up. If this was able to open up and just like have like, you know, 6 screws in the back, my God, this would have been a crazy board to just sit there and mod. This would have been crazy. I would actually love to see you do a collaboration on a key design with Ducky. Dude, I would honestly love to, because I actually really respect what Ducky does. Ducky's been making decent stuff. I really liked when they did that inductive keyboard. And you know what, for the most part, like, Ducky designs are pretty, like, they're non-serious, you know? I'm not going to take it apart today like the Smurf, just because I've already tried to take this apart and it was rather difficult. So I'm not going to bother. But let's unbox the 65. I am going to take out the KTT switches on one of these. I don't know which one. Maybe this one here. Actually, this might have the tactile switches in it, because there's a linear version and a tactile version. You get some warranty cards. Oh yeah, by the way, I actually think the best part about this though, is this one. This one for 89 I think is like legitimately fantastic for people who want a 98. But I'm gonna look at the 65 today. What would you mod in a board like this though? Well, removing foam, right? And I think that's considered modding. I don't think adding foam is possible since they already have like 5 layers of it in this board. But removing it could be fun. But Ducky did a really interesting, like, I was reading some of the marketing spec for this, like on the Amazon page that I have linked. Ducky did an interesting thing with this because Ducky has always kind of wanted a balanced keyboard. And I think when they told me, and I don't know how you guys feel, when they told me like they wanted something which is kind of for gaming and for working, I actually think 2%. I just saw that bug. I actually think Ducky always hits the nail on the head with like good hybrid boards. But yeah, Ducky's just one of those brands that I always have just loved seeing their products in the hobby space. Is this the tactile one? It is. Actually, I haven't seen other from here types yet. What else do you get in the box here, actually? I can't remember. It's been so long since I opened this up. A cable, and then you get like a little cleaner. I also would have loved to see them just put some extra black keycaps in the box. That would have been so nice to get a few extra keycaps. Oh, and a keycap holder too. To get the basics. Actually, how does this one sound? Oh, actually, you know what? I kind of like the tactile version a little bit more in terms of sound. So these are KTT tactile switches. In particular, oh, I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I think they're Wine Reds, I believe. Wine Reds. The tactile actually sounds really good. I gotta admit, I actually really enjoy the sound of this one. This is, so I have not tried this one here yet. I've only, like I said, I've only tested this one because I wanted to wait to unbox fully these two with you guys. But wow, I actually really like the tactile one. I'm probably gonna mod, I mean, I'm kind of nervous to open this one here up since I've been using it for 2 months, or 2 months plus. But I might just open up this one here. Maybe we'll just open up this one. What competition here for the Ducky Eve 65 isn't pre-built? In terms of what's in the hobby space, there's nothing. We have nothing pre-built that would even come close to like the price point of this in the custom world. I think you'd be looking at stuff like Red Dragon, Keychron pre-assembled boards in which, like, listen, I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't think I'd ever pick up Keychron this day and age. Just because of mixed things that I've seen consistently when it comes to like customer support. And then the other thing that I don't absolutely like love, Eppomaker is mixed as well. You know, this sounds way better than the GMK Pro, I agree. But like, there's not a whole lot that I would personally run and go grab that's like pre-built. I have tried, and listen, people send me a lot of pre-built, like, small boards like this, or I shouldn't say small, like budget-oriented boards. There's nothing that I usually find interesting, and that's why I normally never stream it to you guys. Red Dragon got me into the hobby. Yeah, I think Red Dragon's probably the only thing that I can really think of. The Evo 80 and Bridge 75 would be contenders, but what's the cheapest Evo 80 again? It's... Let's see if I even remember. Oh, Evo 80. I think it's still pretty expensive at... Like, in comparison, I should say. 160, I believe, was the Evo 80. Or 150. Kind of still, like, this is half the price. And this is kind of what I'm meaning, like, if you were on a budget, would you get something like this? You know? The nut I have, that I haven't tested yet, but I did see that's a good little decent board that might be competitive as well. The Lucky 65... Here's the thing, I covered the Lucky 65, and the Lucky 65 was also a board where it was mixed feelings about quality control stuff. And like, Ducky's been around for ages, and this is not because Ducky sent me these, you know, it doesn't really mean anything to me at the end of the day. I've seen Ducky around, and I've heard good things about their customer support, and I've even had their customer support when I was newer to the hobby. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Ducky kind of has random brands, like, you know, whoever's making, I don't even know who's making the Lucky. Rainy. I still don't like the visuals of the Rainy. Is the Rainy pre-built? I don't even remember now. But basically every Chinese board offers the XVX boards. I have not seen those yet. Would just getting the Neo 65 Sonic be a better value at the 150 price point? Like, in terms of compared to what? Ducky never was really expensive, I don't think. I don't think Ducky was ever considered like super premium. I think they were just good boards. Like, when Ducky came into the hobby, they were just good boards. Or not into the hobby, Ducky was already there. I think Ducky was, at one point, and I'm not a gamer fully, you know, I think Ducky was a go-to gaming keyboard at one point too. I really think so. Expensive for pre-builds? Man, I don't really remember them being like that crazy expensive compared to other stuff though. The keyboard that I remember being the craziest, because you couldn't find anywhere, was the Poker 3. Holy shit, was that board hard to find. That board was like, I didn't even know if that board was good or not. But I really wanted one, and I never was able to find one. And I ended up getting a Ducky. That's exactly what it is, or at least how they marketed it. $150 for Ducky. Oh, are you talking about in comparison to the Ducky? For the Neo? Want mine? No, I'm good. I don't want the Poker anymore. I think I'm over the Poker. Yeah, I think I'm over it. I think Wobkey, Rainy, and Crush 80 pre-builts are the best you can buy. I realize Wobkey is very controversial. Yeah, I want to point this out too. This is not a knock to any other company, because I've tried a lot of these things. I'm going to be real. When I'm purchasing something, and maybe this is my Unca brain at this point here, I usually want the company that I know is probably going to treat me the best. This goes with any purchase. To me, having solid customer support behind the product I buy does mean something. We've talked about this with Mode keyboards. We've talked about this with, you know, products from Novel Keys, OmniType. I don't know. I usually, you know, as much as I really always want to go for the budget thing that might be great, I feel like I'm gambling, and I don't want to gamble. Yeah, I agree with you. I can ruin. You're saying if I want to tinker, go Eva or Bauer is probably a better choice, but you have to buy all the accessories. This looks pretty interesting from this segment. I agree. That's why I decided. In case you guys were wondering again, that's why I wanted to look at this today, because it's very rare that I actually enjoy a pre-built keyboard to a degree where I'm willing to actually show it to you guys. That's why after 3 months of trying it, because I think it was more than 3 months. My initial message and getting the board was around November 15th. And when I got it, I was like, okay, you know what? It's been, I think, about 15 days ago, I told Ducky, I was like, I like the keyboard. Let's make some content for it. A random question. I noticed that your mats look nice and wonder if you prefer a small or large mat. I like larger mats, but this particular one I only have in this size. I actually don't like this size mat at all. I'm going to be real with you. I want something bigger, but they don't have this particular one in a bigger size. And then I also don't think this sounds very good for keyboards. It is pretty though. Does this work with VIA? I think it did. Let me triple check. It's been a while since I've had to tune anything on VIA here, but I'm pretty positive it loaded up last time. Or at least in VIAL. Let me see. It's still a new product. Like, I think it literally launches tomorrow. Oh no, that's right. It's not loaded into VIA yet. I don't know if it's pulled into VIA yet, but I know the plan was. And listen, I'm also on the side of I wish it worked in VIA. I do think you're going to need a JSON. That was one of the other things I believe I remember talking to them about as well. You might need a JSON file for this. I think the plan is to get it into VIA. I don't know how they're going to do that because this might be a bit more proprietary because of like the wireless stuff. Also, and this is not a we've talked about this in the past. I do want to point out, even for like stuff Bull and I are doing, pulling stuff into VIA has been incredibly slow recently. So it's not really a talking point that I love having anymore because I don't know. I don't know where the talking point goes at this point, dude. I think people, and I think unfortunately, and as much as I want to support VIA, either we switch to ZMK, like Jeff just said, or we switch to VIAL. But if it's gonna take like way too long for things to get accepted, if there's too much back and forth, if there's a lot of arguing between brands and VIA, I think this like whole VIA namesake, as much as I love using VIA, it's kind of frustrating even from a review standpoint because I don't always know what's going on behind the scenes of like pull requests and stuff. And I hate to be this person. And a lot of stuff, by the way, that works in VIA also works in VIAL. So usually if it's okay there, it works the other way. VIAL has been more easygoing with things, it seems. It's not always a good thing, but it seems to work better and have a lot less like back and forth stress. But again, even from like my perspective of doing everything right, like VIA has just been slower. And like it's not VIA particular, it's QMK, just for the record. But it's just been slower. So but no, I do think you're going to probably need a JSON file for the most part. But if this does get made into VIAL or VIA, that'd be really nice. As of right now, it doesn't load into it. I don't understand. You need to get approved to use VIA? Yes. So the way it works, Jedi, in case you guys are curious, and I'm doing a very crude explanation of this. You put in a request to be into, QMK, and then they allow you to be into QMK. And then you can have like, it's called like pulling or whatever. But you kind of have to submit it and then get accepted. That's why not everything instantly loads up. Why can't we just have everyone hand wire their own boards? Praise the God. False. You could just use VIAL. A lot of companies are just switching to like, not switching, but like VIAL in general just seems to work better. So, but no, in terms of like what else like this competes to, again, I've tried countless, and dude, a lot of the times I don't give these away because honestly I don't like them. There's a whole stash of pre-built keyboards, and I'm not saying this to like shit on another brand. I'm not even going to tell you the other brands, but I would only ever show you guys pre-builts that I actually enjoy using. But yeah, so far like negatives, I don't love the fact that you can't open this board up. It was the only true negative of this board that I was like, holy shit, I wish that one thing was changed and then this would be 10 out of 10 for me. Can't explain how relieved that I am to get it loaded into VIAL. False. Love you, buddy. I'm glad you enjoyed it, dude. We can, but I'd have to pry it open, and I really don't feel like destroying this thing to get inside. But I am going to take the switches off, and we're going to put some new switches in. Is it held in by clips? I believe so. I already told Ducky that I would have loved to have this have screws. Obviously, these are already made, so it's just something to consider. How are you liking the MX Master 4? Love it. It's fantastic. Honestly, I hate to admit it because I sometimes don't love Logitech products, but it's pretty good. Dude, I'm not a Logitech salesman, okay? It's the one product I like from them, alright? The one product. I think I'm just really happy that these came with tactile KTT switches and linear KTT switches. That is one of my biggest W's for this whole board. Guys, I'm not sponsored by Logitech. Oh my god, dude. Logitech has actually ripped me off more times than they've had W's, by the way, okay? Let me tell you, I've had more bad experiences than good experiences. Okay, but okay, you know what, Adam, I'm not gonna go there. Keycaps. Keycap thickness is, I would say, pretty normal. They are double shot keycaps, which is fantastic at this price point as well. Pretty standard thickness for these. And the legends look hunky-dory, I would say. Pretty good. When you really think about it too, a set of KTT switches probably costs, I don't know, I think I was paying $20-30 for a set. I think, to me, this is incredible because they have KTT switches in here. You know, I haven't even talked about that AMD, the new Razer board. If you guys want to talk about that, we can, but... By the way, these are using plate-mounted stabs. There's nothing wrong with plate-mounted stabs. I'm tired of the plate-mounted stabs hate that I've seen. There's nothing wrong with good plate-mounted stabs. Nothing. I'm probably not going to review it, Adam. I don't think they want me to review that board. If they did, I would give them a round of applause because I would probably... It would probably end up kind of similar to how I reviewed the Nama, where we're just writing stuff in a notebook. I wouldn't shit all over it, but I think there's just a lot of things about that board that I've seen from the webpage that I'm already not thrilled about. But yeah. The Nama treatment, trademarked. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like me for that review. It's weird, dude. To vent a little. It's weird, man, because people say I'm not critical. Then people say I'm too nice. But then when I reviewed the Nama, they're like, you're being... And then there's been a few boards where I've been critical, and people are being, you're being way too critical. And then I just go I'm just being my normal self. Alex, oh boy. Bye, Em, and take care. I have always tried to treat every product fairly. I have no favorites when it comes to things because I don't care. I just want a keyboard that makes me feel good, and if it doesn't make me feel good and there's objective problems, I'll point those out. I want products to be good. Genuinely, the only thing that I loved from Razer was the Razer Nostromo. I don't even remember that. What was that? Just need Alex to see Alex just eviscerate a product once. I have technically done that one time because it legitimately did not work, and I think I feel bad, but at the same time, what am I supposed to do? There was one product that we got in, I can't remember the name of it, but it literally did not fit together. And then they had sent me a replacement piece, and it was kind of embarrassing because that also did not fit together. It was a board that Click Clack was gonna run, but after the review, it never ran. It had a thumbprint reader in it. It just did not work. The whole board just did not work. And it was one of those things where I really wished they had just tightened up the whole keyboard a little bit and just made it a little bit better, but Low key, I would fuck with a custom that had a thumbprint reader. I don't know. Maybe. It would have been good for like Windows. I don't think Mac it would have worked on. Let me see. Is this the Nostromo? Oh, this thing. I remember this. Okay. I remember that. I want to see one of these switches real quick. Nah, dude. See, I like that Ducky did this. Ducky, hats off for using KTT switches. I don't know what made them want to use KTT. I know some brands do. Sorry, my hands are so dry, guys, but hats off to KTT usage here. Sorry if my fingers are gross. I'm sorry, guys. I've used KTT switches literally recently, dude. They're great switches, bro. Completely valid KTT glaze. I love KTT switches. I was like one of the first people to hop on KTT. All right. One of the first. Where's the KTT rose? I actually found a batch in my closet. So, haha. It was so gimmicky, but young adult me with RGB everywhere. Yeah, I will admit, I think there's validity to having like RGB for like on your keyboard, like per key when you're playing games sometimes. I do think it helps. I tend to leave it on these days, believe it or not. But I don't really like.
Happy Monday, Alex, and hope all of you are doing awesome.
I can't complain. You know. Can't complain. How do you decide the color of your keyboard? For the day, you mean? I don't know. I just kind of like guess. Like,
I know
whatever
KTT
I'm feeling like.
is good, but I just have to rant about the vanilla ice cream switches where the top housings would separate from the bottom housing whether you tried to take them out of the plate, since the top housing legs were too flexible. They were pretty expensive switches too.
Vanilla ice cream switches. What? I have never even heard of those. Let me look this up real quick. Vanilla ice cream switches. Oh, are these are a POK housing. POK housings, I will admit, they're pretty soft. Yeah. I mean, I think the material choice here probably didn't help. POK is good. I've had problems where POK has been a little bit soft. It's very nice though. They probably were amazing switches, those particular ones. But depending on how they blend it, it could be a little bit softer than even usual. So right now I'm liking the value you get out of this board. Again, aesthetics aside, I'm not like 100% on the way this thing looks, but it's nice and lightweight, which I think is important. Outside of the badge and the knob over here, I do think the visuals outside of these are actually like pretty tame. Love the switches you get in here. Hot swap per key RGB is nice. You get very good stock lube stabs. Yeah. Funny that you mentioned that. I'm using firecrackers today. I thought that would be fun with like a foamier board. So we're going to be using these today to go on this board, which I thought would be, like I said, a good combination. Are the caps OEM or cherry? You know what? I actually don't remember off the top of my head. Sometimes I always forget to look at OEM versus cherry. I'm pretty positive they're cherry though. Let me triple check for you guys. I will triple check right this instant. Let's see. I have like a little guideline thing here that I wrote for myself. I don't know if OEM has north-facing problems, but if Cherry, it might have. To be honest, guys, like with north-facing stuff, I haven't had a lot of issues. But people do this because they like the RGB at the top. That's if in case you guys are wondering, that's why you see a lot of these things with like RGB. Let me see. I'm pretty sure these are cherry though. They look like cherry. They feel like cherry. OEM is Best way to tell. Pretty sure these are cherry though. Let me open up my little notepad here. One sec, guys. Imagine if cherry patents would ever expire. Hobby would be pretty bland. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so personally. Let's see. Did I write anything about cherry versus anything else here? I will tell you guys in a moment. Cherry profile. They are cherry profile. They are PBT double shot cherry profile keycaps. So nice. Hovering. Thank you so much for the prime. Appreciate you, dude. All right. Well, like I said, incredible switch choice. Incredible by Ducky. Alex catches heat no matter what he says. Always. It's always, dude. Listen, I'm not trying to play the woe is me card. Ever since I started doing content creation with keyboards, I've always caught shit for anything that I do, right or wrong, or even in between where I take no sides. I'm used to it. I'm always on my toes. Because I'm a Logitech shill? Brother. You're doing something right? I think you should ignore YouTube comments. It's actually you and it. You're the guy always taking sides. The amount of people that say your keys all sound the same is bizarre. I actually don't think my keyboards all sound the same, which is like crazy. But yeah, I agree. I don't think the keyboards all sound the same. Maybe my personal builds, but... Annette, how are you enjoying your mod status? Yeah, how are you enjoying your mod status? Actually, where's these HMX firecrackers? So overall, if you guys were looking for something pre-built, and if you guys even want to like gift a good little pre-built to someone, I'm gonna say this before we like install the new switches. I genuinely really like the stock sound and feel that comes out of the Ducky keyboard here. But we are gonna mod it just because it's fun to do this. We can try different things. But genuinely, Ducky, super happy you chose these switches. Overall, the board does sound great, feel good. My one gripe, get rid of the badge in the front. I think you should have moved that to the back. I don't think you need the logo on the knob. I think it's kind of tacky there. Would also like the blue color to be more of just, you know, maybe something a little bit more like universal. The blue's okay, but also I'm just like biased because I don't like blue. And then yes, add case screws to this, please. Letting us get inside the board, I think would open up more opportunity for the board, making the keyboard have even more value than it does right now. But overall, I would say like pretty solid purchase at $69 to start for a 65. You literally like, I don't even know what I would pick up that I've tried that feels as good as something like this. I don't know how the hell I taped this up. Okay, I'm gonna just take these out first. Actually, no, I want to see how these look. One sec while I try to attempt to open this. The Test 65? Is that pre-built? I thought the Test wasn't pre-built. Didn't I look at the Test? Am I thinking of the right board? Hold on a sec, let me get the knife. The Test is bare, right? Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't remember that being pre-built. Hold on a second. Here's my knife. I don't remember where I put my knife, actually. The Test isn't a bear. Come on. Switches open up. Should have opened the pack before stream, but it's okay. What mounting style? Gasket. All right. So these are going to be... a lot more aggressive than the KTT ones. I can't wait to see how this sounds in this. What the hell just dropped? Oh, my pen. That sucks. The amount of... Hoping Ducky comes out with a good old vintage sage green and burgundy. Me too. I think Ducky has a lot of potential to do fun stuff. And if you know what, my call out for Ducky, if you ever want to sit down and collab on something, and I help maybe pick some parts and give you some general direction, would absolutely love to. Yeah, firecrackers, not firefinches. The firefinches I have, I'm going to use them for a different board. Yeah, that's why I'm swapping like a few here. Oh gosh. I don't want the plate, the PCB to drop. By the way, this is a call out for everybody, because I've been seeing on social media people post builds, and I'm not saying that people build keyboards like, see how I'm doing it right now? I actually don't think this is a great way to do hot swap. This is why I advocate to open up boards. I know there's foam underneath the sockets, and this is I think this is actually a pretty serious conversation. And if you guys are ever wondering like why, I'm like, why do you need to open the board, Alex? It's hot swap. Supporting hot swap sockets and making sure that, you know, they have nowhere to move is very important. If you don't support the sockets, and just a little bit of foam usually isn't enough, usually you want to put it on a desk or just have something solid, you have the chance to have a pin be like this basically, right? How it's crooked. And then you try to push in the thing here, and because this whole circle over here is the socket, you have a chance to actually push it out. My problem is I've been seeing a lot of people kind of get back into that habit of just pushing in their switches and like not double checking the pins, and I've been seeing a lot of people, because I do repairs for boards, put in repair requests for hot swap sockets. All I'm saying is just take the extra minute, open up your keyboard, make sure you're inserting everything correctly. That's all. I think it's really bad practice, because you can damage your keyboard if you do it without supporting the sockets. What I'm doing right now here, I don't like doing. I did that on PCB the other day. I was kind of surprised that the socket worked after when I shoved it back on. Sometimes you can get lucky, and if nothing completely rips off, like the contact pad doesn't rip off, you can kind of put things back together, sorta, but it's never going to be perfect. It was actually, if you guys remember, it was actually such a problem at one point that people were not supporting their sockets that I had to make a piece of content for Novelties asking people to properly insert switches, because it was getting that bad. I hate when changing keycaps and one pops off. It's a little annoying. You know what's funny? I just realized this board has the exact same design as my Gamma K IK67. Oh, like this layout? I think this layout's pretty universal. I've seen a lot of keyboards with this kind of 65 layout. Come on. I blew out the RGB on my OG Neo 65 a few years back by not supporting the sockets. Yeah. It's just one of those things where I keep advocating for it. Like, just please support your sockets. As long as your keyboard can open it up. Don't be lazy. It ain't worth it, dude. I got 30 plus builds on one PCB. Always support the sockets with fingers. Even a desk mat is too risky for me, too soft. It's true. Sometimes it might be a bit too soft. It is true. Ducky's around 98 to 130 euros. Or I guess pounds, right? Is that pounds? Good news is they're mostly UK ISO. I mean, Ducky does a good job with layout support too, I will admit. My favorite Ducky product recently was still that inductive keyboard. That thing was so cool from Ducky. I really wish they had done like a more custom version of that, like an aluminum case. That would have been so cool. Should we put some different keycaps on this too? Maybe put something a little bit more plain Jane instead of Ducky's keycaps? I'm kind of curious. Before getting into the hobby and joining the community, I was following some really dumb advice from YouTube. I won't drop names or anything, but you were a godsend, bud. I'm super grateful. Thank you, Jedi. Oh, thanks, man. I try my best. I'm thinking about doing WOB. Should we do PBT though? Cheese, man, thank you so much, man. Love you, buddy. Love you guys. I appreciate the support, everybody. Thanks for the subscriptions. Thank you, thank you. Oh, actually, I didn't even notice this. There's a little piece of foam here under the spacebar too. Removable. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't think that's doing a huge amount of sound dampening. Battery life, by the way, on this is pretty good too. I was using this wireless for a little bit. I think I used it wireless for like 3 weeks and didn't have to charge it.
Hope your night's going well.
A few hours a day. Tea Leaf, how are you? My night's doing, I would say, pretty standard fare. I have nothing to really report. I will be lubing up a batch of switches. I think that's it. I have a client. I'm going to do a client batch, and I think I'm going to do an extra batch to list on my website if you guys are interested. Do you lube HE switches like you lube MX? A little bit on the stem. I do even less on HE stuff. A batch of cherry switches, Adam. I'm thinking about doing a batch of 90 with 45 gram springs for anyone if they want them. Put some switches back on here. My vote is GMK Norse. As much as I really want to use GMK today, I actually think PBT would be really fun on this. I need to find a PBT set I want to use though. Alex doesn't have any PBT sets. That is not true. I did not break all of them. There's only a few. Do you lube the springs? Yes, but most of the springs I've actually used on some of the HE ones. I haven't lubed a lot of HE switches, by the way, Will. Most of them already had a bit of oil on the spring, and I didn't really feel the need to add more. Oh. So... Dude, I actually really love the color of these switches, too. These are so pretty. I might reuse these for something else. Actually, these might not be the wine reds. I don't know which one was which in terms of namesake. They don't have like a color. It just said one was linear, one was tactile. I might actually reuse these for something. That's cool. This guy is always wondering about the taste of switches. This guy. This freaking guy, dude. Anyone know if aftermarket HE springs fit the Zeal clickies? Oh, I have no clue. I've not even used those Zeal clickies. Zeal products are kind of crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. They're kind of crazy. So wait, I think I had the linears and tactile mixed up then, because on the notes they gave me, they didn't specify which color was which. So I think these are baby switches, I guess, and the wine reds are the linears. I will say they probably should specify that on their buy page. I'll probably give them a message, because if you scroll down on their buy page, it just says KTT linear and tactile without specifying which namesake is what. I know a batch cost me more than one of my keys. They're so expensive. I think Zeal pricing made sense back in the day when they were like new, but they don't make sense now. Dude, Ark, thank you very much for the Prime. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, dude. These are firecrackers today. I thought it'd be fun to try swapping out the switches. I'm gonna be real with you guys though. The stock switches are already fantastic on this board. I don't think these need to be swapped. They're KTT switches. They're really good, but for the sake of variety, we're gonna try. I really wanted to try an aggressive tactile on this board. Dr. Drew says, loved your videos on the top 5 HG switches, by the way, my dude. Oh, thanks, man. Dude, I've gotten some like crazy nice people responding to that video, saying they really liked the vid. I might have to do another video like that soon. It seems like people just really enjoyed that kind of content, so. Not Too Sweets, thanks for the tier 1. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I want to grab an EC PCB for my Bauer. Dynacap is a little pricey, yeah. But it's worth. If you're into EC, it's worth. It's a very good experience. You heard mixed reviews on the firecrackers? What about? I haven't used them yet. This is my first time. I mean, like, in hand, the spring sounds fine, and it's a tactile switch, so. How are Dynacap EC parts compared to Densys? I've tried basically most of the EC parts at this point. Dynacap is the best experience I have had so far. So, this hashtag, why is everything I positive say is ad by Adam here? Some say they feel off? Oh, really? I think that is subjective. Yeah, I don't know how they would feel off. I'm trying them right now. Yeah, they feel fine. I'm not sure. Dynacap shill? I wish. I wish I was shilling. They have a Scratchy thing going on. I think it was on purpose. I don't think it was on purpose. Oh, the switches? There's definitely a hint of scratch. But I kind of like that. Maybe, like, again, this is where the personal preference lies in. You guys know I like scratchy switches, so I kind of like it. No Dynacap, Alex? Huh? By the way, we're probably going to finish with this stream a little earlier, and then I want to like show something that I'm really proud about to you guys afterwards. I use the HMX Jade tactiles at the moment. They are so nice. Dude, HMX has been making some nice tactiles, right? I have been liking them. Oh, my stomach growled. Actually, tonight I made crazy good ribs. The ribs were such a good price. It was a 3-pack of ribs for $22. Like 3 full racks. Crazy good price. And then I had them and I was over the moon with how they tasted. They were so good today. I used I used a new rub basically. So nice.
Look at the smooth haircut on your boy,
Thanks,
Alex.
22 CAD for 3 full racks, yes. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, DJ. Alright, let's actually put these back in the box here. That's crazy. Adam, it was a nuts price. Such a good price, and okay, what I did was, instead of doing my normal rub, I did garlic powder, brown sugar, salt, pepper, like the tiniest amount of pepper, liquid smoke, and I didn't use any olive oil this time. And then what I did was I put a little dab of butter on both ribs. Like I cut them in half and then put both. And then I did it beforehand because I was just like, let me try it. Because I don't cook ribs on high heat. I actually put maple syrup rub on top of it as well. And I think that was the trick to make them even better. Because they had like a nice like... I'm not going to call it a bark because it wasn't. But they had like a nice like... of course there's maple syrup. Okay guys. A nice like texture on top that I thought was really unique this time, which I've never been able to do before in the oven. So I was pretty happy with them. Okay, let me move these switches out of the way. Again, might reuse these because these are freaking awesome. Might even put them back in, who knows. It's Super Mod Oak. Hi, Super Mod Oak. Canadian. Hey guys, there's nothing wrong with maple syrup, all right? Now, I'm thinking, let me try some different keycaps here. Let me see what I got. Oh, I have too many things in front of my cabinet here. We could do this. This might be fun. It's the charcoal keycap set from Novelties. Shock frosting and pulverizing it to use seasoning for the steak. Wait, what? I just watched your 2022 stat video and it really helped. Thank you, man. Anytime. Actually, speaking of which, I have now come to the conclusion after thinking about it for a few days, I don't think I'm going to update the videos. I was storyboarding it basically, and I was really thinking, how can I make these videos better? The truth of the matter, guys, I can't. I have no ways to make those videos better at this point. They're already done to a point where like I'm really happy with them, and there's no new information I can really go and get into at all. So I feel like it would just be a waste of time to redo them. I was thinking about doing it for algorithm stuff, but like maybe I'm just not a good content creator. Like I just don't wanna, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like that I could do better things with my time for like the hobby and the community. You know what I mean? We're just lying now? What are we lying about? You'd be terrible at creating slop? I'm so bad at it, man. Like here, I'm gonna give you guys an inside info on something. A company reached out to me today and they offered me, I would say like a decent little paycheck to do some TikTok content. And they wanted me to do 4 videos. And I was just thinking to myself, like the angle of the videos they wanted me to do, like the way they wanted me to present the product was just like, it was so boring. I was like, I don't want to do this. It's just not something that I want to like get into. And I turned them down and they were like kind of shocked. It was keyboard content, but it was like really boring keyboard content. Seasoning a new steak with the crust from a previous one is a creative high intensity technique. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Dude, that is absolutely next level. Did you have to dance? No. Essentially what they wanted me to do was put their product and like do this whole like unboxing video, and it just felt very like not me. And I don't really do like, this is the XYZ keyboard from XYZ company, and then like it appears on the desk and it's like, it has this feature, this feature, this feature. Go buy it today. I don't do those videos. That's not me. I feel very disingenuous doing those. I stumbled upon a speaker made of Samsung to make it look like a frame. Yeah, Samsung has some interesting products for sure. I think so, Ninja. Which is fine, but it's just not something I create. 5, 6, 7, 8. This side. Should I update the thumbnail? I think, you know what? I think you're right, enthusiast. I think I should update the thumbnail for that video. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Actually, this is sounding great already. You know what's crazy too? I think even just changing the keycaps out is already giving this board like a different vibe. Maybe it's just the keycaps that need to be changed out ever so slightly on this board. The Sovereign from Mickey Digit. Is that a keyboard? I think Mikey was showing me something, but I don't remember what it was. This is charcoal, yeah. It's a set that I wish Mike would bring back for novelties. I really wish this came back in stock. It's such a good set. Really? You think the firecrackers sound better without foam? I'll try it on a board in the future with that. That might be a fun combo to try out. Who made this though? Like the Keycap said it was novelties. No, it's just like a very light gray, which is exciting because I think it looks really good. I wish here's Heresy would run again. Heresy. I've seen that run recently. Can you re-edit the stab video as a 30-second YouTube short? I don't know if I can. I probably have to re-edit or redo the whole thing. Or maybe I can just take bits and pieces of it, truthfully, and I would probably have to just do a voiceover. That'd be pretty fun, though. That'd be an interesting experience to do that. Why did NK stop making their own sets? Did they not sell well? I don't know all the details to it. I think what happened was I don't know. But I think what happened was not supply issues. It was, I think, just like they wanted more particular things from the manufacturer, and there might have been stuff that happened there. Hi, Mike. How you doing? GMK set? Oh, I think you did show me that, right? Chat, has anyone tried the TTC stabs? I've seen them, but I haven't tried them. I don't know if I've tried them yet, actually. Maybe someone sneaky sent them in, but... NK Sand is my daily driver. You know, I'm going to prod Mike about that later and see what he says about possibly restocking some of those things. Although, I'll be completely honest with you guys, it might be a bit of a long stretch thing. Oh, it was revealed today. Oh, I know you showed me something last time we spoke, Mikey. I remember how big these base kits were for this, and it's like overwhelming. There's so many keycaps. Type Plus is fantastic. I've always said I really like Type Plus stuff. It's always been good. Always treated me right. Even though I think on paper Night Stabs are better, Type Plus just, I don't know, it has like a particular sound profile to it, which I really enjoy. I run Cherry Stone on my QK65R1, product of its time. Cherry Stone was a good set for it too. Let me see, Mikey. Let me see. Ooh, I like your pictures here. Cool set, very cool set. You should put it in chat. Don't be afraid to link it in chat. I approve. The Keycap is already making the board look 2 times better. Damn, maybe I'll mention this to them as well. I do agree. Like right away, this looks more premium just by using like one solid color instead of having like accent, like backspace and stuff. This looks way more premium as like a single thing over here. Also a bit more low key, which I think like suits the board. It's a really nice set. Hi Alex in chat, I'm looking for keycaps to put on my Kafka warm gray. I really like the Kikobo Nichiren from yesterday. Oh, I actually think that'd be perfect. But okay, if you want my honest opinion, I know this is the really super duper boring answer. Just go with something wob, bro. Like just do white on black or bow or something like that. I actually think that board, the Kafka, almost needs a boring ass set. It has a vibe to it, and I'd hate for it to like get drowned out by a set that maybe takes away from it. I really think that board needs to be built classy. In particular, that color, because I think that's the same color I have. I mean, Wob just looks great on it, dude. If you wanted something a little bit different, maybe go Shoshin. Shoshin's subtle enough too, but I think the Nichiren set is probably the best. You can buy the Kafka Bare Bones Jedi. Bare Bones is honestly, I think, is definitely a vibe. However, I mean, the keycaps that it came with were also super good, so I feel like why not just get the kit there? No, Kafka does come with keycaps, but you can buy Bare Bones. Shoshin, my beloved. Shoshin is beautiful. It is indeed. Go figure. The controls like one of the last people to pick up here. Actually, this board does look a lot more premium with just all black keycaps. Dude, hold on. The board with just a little bit of blue and the all black keycaps actually looks kind of fire. It does look way better now. Again, this, I feel like if this disappeared, if this was something, even if this was blue, I think leave it as black, but if this didn't have the logo on it, it looks pretty damn good. I'm gonna mention that to them. Literally as simple as swapping a keycap set here, and it makes the whole board look more premium. This is charcoal. Put this to the side, and I'm gonna put these caps back in the box. It might come off, but I'm gonna leave it on for now. The light indicators being where they are just feels weird. Oh, I don't mind them there. I'll be honest though, like, when am I ever gonna use these light indicators? Maybe the battery. I don't really like pay attention to when I have the caps lock on and stuff like that. Like maybe the battery, I don't know. But even so, it's like not the end of the world. They don't come on unless, you know, you need to have them on. I think I'm with Adam though. I've never been the biggest fan of having indicators on a board, but like I don't think it's a terrible spot. All right, let's see how this sounds now with the firecracker switches. Oh, dude, actually, this looks so fucking cool. Sorry, my language. This looks super nice with just the all black keycaps. It just like changed the aesthetic of the board. Oh, dude, Ducky needs to swap these out for sure. Again, even if they had included the standard colors instead of just having the accents, because I will admit, I think I do prefer maybe the more brighter legends compared to charcoal. But yeah, they should have included those. They really should have. Ooh, this does sound nice already. Let's see. Let's give this a little test drive, shall we? All right, so we didn't do anything else to the board other than swap the keycaps. Oh yeah, and the switches, sorry. Switches and keycaps. That's a pretty interesting sound. I don't mind the spacebar. The spacebar is a bit glassy. It might even be like PBT in general. Like, it's a glassier spacebar. Fun sound though. Ooh, the alphas are crazy nice. You know what, too? Let me see. Nice to see a board where it doesn't sound just foam. Yeah, you know what? I was going to say that too, Gingy. I agree. The board, even though it has like 5 layers of foam, I do think they've done it in a manner where it's not like very foam forward. I'll give it to Ducky. I really liked their stock sound. Even with swapping out some switches here and even just moving over to some different keycaps, I think the board also sounds good. Let's try a cherry switch. Maybe that'll round out the Spacebar experience here. Still a bit glassy, but again, it's probably PBT. I will say, okay, with the cherry switch Spacebar mixed in with these alphas, but here's the thing, too. Like, let's go back to the KTT switch they provided. Because the KTT switch they have in the box, it ain't no slouch. Let's see. I'm telling you guys, the board... Can we just hear the spacebar? It's a tactile, don't forget. That's why you're kind of hearing like a little bit of an extra sound there. You're hearing the stabs? Let me tune it up a little bit. I don't hear any ticking I don't really hear any ticking, but let's give it a little tune up. I actually would say these are tuned pretty damn good. Nothing's ever perfect though, so let's see. I don't know if we need to put that much extra lube in here. And yeah, there's not really a lot of... I guess we can add some here. I don't know if that made it any better. I'd have to go back and check. I don't know. Maybe a little bit. I mean, I'm impressed. I think the board sounds fantastic. You know what? I almost maybe preferred the KTT switches that it came with. But I do agree. I think... Ah, man. Okay, here's the thing. I also have to keep in mind, and this is so tough, I have to keep in mind this particular unit is $69. $69.99, 70 bucks. I think my major thing that I want Ducky to do in the future, just make it so you can unscrew the board and take things out. That's it. I think if I had to criticize anything at all here today, I think that's like my major gripe with this board. Is that make or break for people? I am not sure. You have to weigh the options there. I honestly feel like this board's such in a good spot where you might not even need to do that. I even leave the KTT switches in, like they're already coming with great stock switches. It would be nice to just open it up and tweak, you know, get some more value out of your dollar there. But it came with good keycaps. I mean, the keycaps are good quality. I don't love the color of the accents. I wish they'd just given us either extra keys or just a plain Jane keycap set. I don't think it needs to match the case. It makes it look cheap. I don't know. I don't really have anything else like super duper mission critical for this. Ducky did a really good job with this board. The pricing is excellent. I'll give it to Ducky there, considering what you're getting in the box. It's excellent. I guess the only other thing I can really mention, and again, keep this in mind if you're thinking about purchasing this, if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, the VIA support is done by a JSON file. I have to, you know, make my rounds on criticizing that, but to some degree it's hard to criticize right now because of just like how slow everything's moving for QMK to some degree. would like to see an option with either ZMK or something else for like wireless / Bluetooth boards where you don't have to load an additional file. You know? You can't really open the Smurf, same price. And that's kind of like, you know, I'm on that same wavelength as you right now, Hector. The Smurf was another board we looked at, which was $80, albeit a bit more unique, but you can't open that one here up either. The Smurf pre-built was $100 though, and I think for value's sake, I'm kind of leaning towards more the Ducky for like, you know, just what you're getting out of the box here. But, oops, let's also look at this one because there's one more board. Mind you, we're just looking at the layout at this point here. It's not going to like perform any different. Smurf has me excited. I love the Smurf. I think if you wanted something like the Smurf, it's such a good pickup. It's good to allow people to get into the internals. Ducky is flirting with the custom hobby scene for a while. They should honestly commit. It's a win-win for them. Dude, I'm with you on that. I agree, Stiletto. If this keyboard had easier access to get into the internals, this would have been one of the easiest recommends that I've had in a while. I think where right now this is going to be me recommending it to is someone who just wants something for maybe a bit of work, maybe a bit of play. I think more so work. I think at this price point and the lightness of this board, this makes an excellent office keyboard without the need to worry about bringing something custom and more expensive into the office. And you probably wouldn't matter too much if this got like a little bit tossed around and scuffed a little bit. And then this is the 98. I think this is probably the one that I can almost guarantee you probably people will pick this one here up first. Yeah. See, this is something I can see people vibing with in the office too. There's not a lot of great 98% or even full-size boards, and I think this will get people excited to some degree. And then also, like, can you do a rundown on the pricing again? Absolutely. Where is it? 69 for the smallest, 79 for the 75, and then 89, so $90 for this one, which I think is pretty fair. Sure was talking about you earlier, breaking hot swap sockets. What? What happened? I don't understand how hard it is for manufacturer to put 4 screws. Yeah, I don't know why they designed this with clips and then not screws. I don't know. Unless it's some sort of like warranty workaround type thing. I don't think so, but... Oh, Adam. I get you. Yeah, I mean, these sound pretty damn good out of the box. Even this one here. Put this on our little... It's weird. Now that I actually kind of like the Tactiles more, but I do agree gaming on the linears was more my vibe. The Tactiles do sound really nice in this board, though. Does Ducky assume no one will want to mod this? It's not their audience? And that's kind of where sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit confused. My camera hates this right now. I'm a little confused at sometimes too, because like my guess is I'd want, if I was Ducky right now, I would want to offer this product as something that you can open as well as just bring to work. It's like the best of all worlds. Not just kind of like, here's what we think is the best. Although, to give them credit, they did do an excellent job, I would say, at picking good parts for this to work out. Like, truly, they did a really good job. But yeah, if I was in Ducky's shoes right now, like, I would want to build a board that, like, realistically, I can't see how much this extra would cost, would just have some extra screw points so you can access the board and then you can allow people to do even more. You know what I mean? Have you seen the Gatorun Milky HE switches? No, I haven't. They made milky yellow HEs? That's hilarious. That is pretty funny. It's on Gatorun's site. I'll take a look after this. Screws would probably drive up the cost a bit. Extra labor / machine to screw them in together. I don't know. I can't see it going down the assembly line or something like that, needing some like crazy extra amount of dollars to do so. I'm sure there are other screws in this, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Here's the thing, I do agree. I feel like they're straddling the line between like slightly gamer, but not really, because most gamers would probably go for Hall Effect. I think where this board is perfect, but I also think Ducky knows this. I'm gonna be real. I think this is the perfect board for someone who wants a mechanical board to bring to work, and then maybe bring this home in the same day, and then just plug it in at home too. Maybe for that person who just wants one thing back and forth to work. I think that's where this makes an excellent product. Or realistically, for someone who just wants to leave this at work and wants a quality mechanical keyboard. I've been using my Ducky Shine 2 for 13 years unmodded, and just now the Windows key stopped working. 13 years is a good lifespan, I'd say, incognito. I have modded 2 of their boards despite them using clip-ins. I mean, I'm hell yeah, that's awesome. Got an acoustic question. What materials produce a glassy sound? PC switches. It has me intrigued. I would say, not polycarbonate, but PBT keycaps in general tend to produce something a bit more of a sharper note. Also, polycarbonate switches, I do agree, tend to produce a sharper note sometimes. But I think it's mainly the keycaps that I've noticed that really produce glassier sounds. Like very sharp notes. Pre-built HE boards, the Kafka, that's it. Like that's all I can really recommend that I've enjoyed. Not really Hall Effect in this sense, but the inductive Ducky Ducky keyboard I thought was excellent. I used that for so long. But also kind of like, it's mixed tech because there's nothing being done with that switch. So it's kind of dead in the water, sort of, but the board itself's fantastic. Other pre-builds that I've been enjoying for Hall Effect, I don't know. I think to some degree Wooting. I don't love Wooting stock keyboards though. I've used them, I don't love them. The Overture V2 is beautiful. I think I will be reviewing that, yes. But yeah, I didn't love Ducky keyboards out of the box. I don't. I've tried 2 now. Didn't love them. The Garen, but I think we're talking about pre-builds. I don't know if the Garen offered a pre-build version. But yeah, Ducky, please. I think you have an excellent product here. My only suggestion is screws. Like, major suggestion. And then some other ones, like we mentioned earlier. I won't go over them again because I feel like I'm boring you guys. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier, I probably would have not even shown you guys this had I not been like super over the moon about the product in its stock form. Overall though, like Ducky I think did something pretty fun here, so props to them. I might actually start using this one here. I think this one here actually looks kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. Have you seen the Overture? Oh, I read that one there. I don't do foam a lot, but I put Blue Cheese V2 as my Alice Duo in foam. This thing is deep. Blue Cheese switches are crazy deep, dude. Peanuts on got a multi-stream. Is he doing some arcaders? Also, I want to show you guys what I got. I got this. I don't know if you guys are into Sleep Token, but I'm going really slow with like collecting things. Like I said, this is the first thing. I only have this and this. This I got used. So this I found used in like a bargain store thingy. But this is my first, like, probably my first purchase for a little while, because like they're not cheap, unfortunately. But this is my first purchase, I would say, that's not used. This one's super cool, but yeah, take a look at this. The standard black vinyl of even in Arcadia was very disappointing. I will say, so I've tried some other records. This record plays a little bit low. It's still very nice, but it does play a little bit low, and that's the record there. I think it looks super freaking sweet. Yeah, it's colored vinyl, but it's like done in like a marbly effect. Super, super cool. And then my only other gripe with this particular album as well is they got like 2 songs aside, which is a little bit frustrating. So the record's sick. I want to feel it. It just feels like a record. But yeah. Pretty cool. I had to get this one here online because nobody has this in Toronto. No, 33. News of the World is classic. Yeah, this I had to have. This one here when I was going through the bins and I was like, oh, this is like someone's copy of this. Like you can tell it's like it's a bit older, you know? But I had to have it, dude. What version of Sleep Token is that one? That's the gold. I forget what it's actually called. Gold Marble or something like that.
Less songs per side is actually good because it stops in a groove distortion, which is when sound quality degrades the further in the record you go, since there is less space for information.
Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. My stepdad had vinyl, but my mom would sell like Beatles Blue and Red albums and War of the Worlds. Oh, really? Hear me out, a keyboard called vinyl and you get those grooves on the side with a cool LP badge? That'd be cool, actually. AMD knows a lot about... Actually, AMD's been helping me a lot. So shout out to AMD. Working on a full Sleep Token vinyl? Oh shit, dude. So you've been... which one do you have? Because there's like 6 different colors, I swear to God. There was like a green one that's available now. I'm not gonna lie, I wish I got the green one, but the gold one was super cool. Go on Discogs for that record? Which one? Look at all the variants. There's so many. The Sleep Token one? Yeah, dude, there was like a green one. There was like, I don't know, there's so many variants. There were so many. The gold one was cool. The gold one was cheap and it was available. I only have 2 EIA records, the green and the black, but I'll have to keep my eye out. The gold, if you're looking for the gold one, I got it from a place called HHV, which is in Europe. Luckily, it wasn't that expensive, and nobody has that one there here. The only thing that was kind of pricey, actually, not really. It was even fair, the shipping. I think it was only like 15 bucks for me. Yeah, and I had like a discount too. Even the import fee wasn't that much money. It wasn't crazy, but I mean, it was just like little amounts that kind of like added up, I suppose. Oh, that is a pretty vinyl record. Holy shit. That is gorgeous. Very pretty, dude. I would buy older vinyl from thrift stores and never brand new depending on the mix. They, so I was actually, we went to a thrift store, well, I went to a thrift store like last week before I picked up the record player, and they had like a bunch of $2, $3 bins that I sort of went through. I'm going to go again this weekend because there's probably a few that I probably would like. But yeah, I'm going to keep my eye out. I've gotten so many vinyls that are just boring black, and I have others like Mac Miller Collection. But here's the thing, I actually like boring black vinyls. The record player, I don't know if you guys can even see. I have the other record in there because I was playing it before stream, so I have to take it out. But the boring black vinyls, because my record player is green, so it kind of looks really nice on the green. Also kind of why I wanted to get a record player that had like a color to it, because I knew not every record I get was going to be like the most exciting thing in the world. I worked in a store every 3 weeks. The vinyl would get sorted from good to bad. Oh, really? Have you tried a random record vending machine at Sonic Boom? What did you like? What do you even get from that? Why not brand new vinyl? I'll tell you why. Because the vinyl records are like $40 to $50, and going with some of the older stuff, finding it in like bargain bins is like $5. So it's pretty expensive. Vinyls can get pretty pricey. That, like I said, I love Sleep Tokens, so like that one there I was gonna get. So a vinyl channel needs to happen. Honestly, I might. It might be a little something I get into. The next thing I kind of want is I have like I'm gonna keep my eye out on a cheap one, but it's the Miki Matsubara Pocket Park. They're so expensive. So I'm already looking into a cheaper one. There was one that they had in a shop here in Toronto, but it was in pretty bad shape. So that's gonna be like my next, like, if I can find it. Ooh, Claire Obscura, dude. Wait, can you send a picture of that in Discord, Mace? Is there a single shop to get high-res FLAC files? Well, I don't know. I'm getting like really sick of subscription media. So for example, my girlfriend likes music and I like music. There are certain songs that they've taken down off of Spotify. I guess the artist has removed them, and then or Apple Music, and then suddenly like I have to go to YouTube to watch those things. It just becomes one of those things where it's like I'm starting to really realize like how important ownership of media is. Because like if I don't know, let's just say like it's even with Netflix, like they remove shows, and then I want to go back and I don't have access to those shows. So I'm starting to just get a little bit like burnt out on that shit. I think a lot of people are though. I think realistically so many people are getting burnt out on like not owning media. So totally a lot of the stuff I listen to on Bandcamp aren't on Spotify. Yeah, that's really what it is, right? Subscription media is cancer. It's just like it makes me feel like powerless sometimes. And I think that's kind of even with like why I've just been getting like really tired of digital media in a way. So all physical media decays. Well, I think that's a very pessimistic way of looking at it, Jinji, but I suppose so. Stream media is a better term, no? You're right, stream media is a better term. Yes. You need a digital backup? Yeah, but I'm talking about like owning the file, not just like streaming it, you know what I mean? Everybody decays eventually. All right, let's not go down this path, boys. Let's avoid this topic. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about our mortality. Sometimes I think about that, right? And it's kind of scary, right? The problem with vinyl is it's so tedious. I think that's what's kind of fun about it. Honestly, though, microphone, like, maybe this is just me. Like, dude, I use this camera a lot. Where is it? There are days. So, like, I'll show you two cameras. There are days where I take this camera out, right? So this camera, I don't have to do anything. I just point, shoot, it autofocuses. That's it. Very easy. But then there are days I have to put in some more work when I use this camera, where I have to sit there, focus, I use this camera basically all manual except the ISO. This, I just have set to auto right now, but I usually do this myself too because I like dialing it in. This is way more tedious. I've missed a lot of shots with this because I have to like set it up a little bit, but I think there's something like really special about doing something that's more tedious in a way. It's almost like, and it sounds really stupid, and I know there's days where this camera makes more sense, but there's like days where it kind of like forcing you to slow down. Like, dude, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but like I really do feel like everything moves way too quickly. Like, even sometimes I have conversations with my girlfriend about this. Like, even me, like I'm just like, my brain is just all the time. And I feel like being forced to slow down is just nice in a way, you know? And yeah, sometimes like I've taken, honestly, at this point here, to be real with you guys, I've taken more interesting shots on this than my Leica. But I think it's I remember the experience on the Leica more than I do this thing. It's definitely mindfulness, but Alan, some people would consider it more tedious. Some people don't want to autofocus or don't want to manually focus something. They want just autofocus, click, shoot, moments over. I think it's perspective, right? But I agree. Soldering to be tedious? I mean, yeah, same idea in keyboards. Soldering, some people can say it's tedious, but I don't personally think so.
By the way, Alex, have you acquired the gear that I recommended? You need to get those paper sleeves out of here.
They're on the way. However, I think they're going to take a week or something because they didn't have money to order from somewhere else. And then I got the anti-static brush like you said. But I already had a brush. I don't remember where I put it now. But I'm going to get that one there too. Just because like the brush I have is like a velour or velvet one or something. I don't remember what it was. I find that media that I consume affects me a lot. I watched a bunch of calming videos for a week and felt more relaxed. Can I put you guys on something? I hate to be this guy. You know what's been helping me every morning? I've been playing spa music, bro. I'm not even fucking kidding you. I just play like spa music in the morning and I'm just working to like having a sip of coffee to like spa music. And I don't know why, bro. It mellows me the fuck out and I can just like focus on my morning tasks better. But it has to be something with like no words, just like sounds and frequencies, and that's it. It helps so much. Check DMs. It always DMs me, and then usually it's like one line of sentences. What? You didn't even DM me. Oh my god, dude. As a VIAL recommendation, they have great inventory and do a good job at their stickers and zines. Okay, I'll take a look. And there's no DM. You mean yesterday? Okay, I had to scroll down. The games? Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I spent $8 yesterday on Super Battle Golf. Holy shit, what a stupid game that is. Wait until next week. Someone here told me that I have a bunch of cases in CSGO, or whatever the new one is, CS2. And I didn't know I had a lot of cases in Counter-Strike, because I have not played in 5 years. And they told me they're worth like $100 or something. So I'm going to wait a week, because I have to wait a week, because apparently I had the wrong 2-factor authentication. And then I'm going to buy all those games you said. I don't have keys, and I don't want to buy keys for that stupid game. Sorry, it's not stupid, but I don't play the game anymore. Coward, you want to buy the keys? I'm not buying them. Do it. Aren't they like $5 a pop? CS2 economy is so effed. $2.50 American? That's like $5 Canadian, dude. This guy. Maybe 5 CAD? Yeah, that's a lot. I think I have like 10 cases or something. I'm not spending $50. I can buy a whole game for that price. I agree, Lane, right? They should spend less time trolling me and more time updating the keyboard. No, please. It's my responsibility. Don't worry about it. $5 Canadian with Monopoly money? This guy. Thank you, Soundtrack. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you. EU screwing us over again with Jeez, I cannot pronounce that. Paternalism? How to order my Walkman from Japan for a lot of money? Yeah, import fees right now. Pretty crazy. I got the
Imagine spending money on virtual cosmetics when you could buy real cosmetics for your keyboard.
No, I've always been into skins. I hate to admit it. Dude, let me tell you guys something. I got screwed over by you. My last story before we head off for the night, I got screwed over by UPS again. We had to get a new mouse for something.
So nice.
The mouse was $80. So UPS came. They knocked on the door and they're like, "You owe us money." I was like, "Well, how much money?" And I didn't know what this was for. It's like $110. And I was like, "Oh, can I see the box?" My $80 mouse had $110 of fees. So I paid it just because I was like, fucking whatever. Paid it because I was going to try to get a refund. Then I looked at the UPS sheet for how much I paid. So there was $20 in taxes, which makes sense. And then I have no clue, but there was a UPS service fee of $55. And then another fee, which was also labeled UPS service fee, for another $35. And then some taxes. This is what I mean with UPS. I have no clue what any of those even fucking mean. So nice.
Damn, that is almost as unremarkable as your non-existent
whiteboard. Can we get a ban on this Ninja guy? Can we get a ban on this guy? You need to move to America? It's not. It's worse there. This Adam guy, dude. Can you unban him, please? America isn't much better. It's kind of like seeing AT&T phone bill. I was shocked. So basically what happened was I called them before this happened in the last few days. So today I finally called them before stream, and turns out they're saying, this is what frustrates me, right?
My mother once had a shipment from Germany held hostage for $500. Because it was a shipment for her business, she had no choice but to pay.
What was the value of the context, AMD? Or contents? But yeah, so UPS basically told me, they're like, oh, the $35 was the brokerage fee because we were your brokerage, which is a ripoff, by the way. And I was like, okay. I'm like, what was the $55 fee? The $55 fee was an accident. What if I never called them? Like, that's my problem with UPS. So my recommendation to you, point of the story, check your UPS bills. So there's a ticket in right now to get a refund on the $55. It's like actually $56.30 or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it's about $55. And you probably need to, but like I don't get enough stuff for it to matter. They want it 340 euros for 120. What the fuck? They've done that with me a few times too, Elcian. There was one time where they like insisted that I was lying about the contents of a package being worth $55. It was a PCB I was shipping out. It was a repair. And they were like dead set on it being a full keyboard. And I'm like, bro, it has no case. It's just a PCB. But yeah, sometimes they do that. Have you considered not using UPS anymore? I want to get into details about that, but it's a boring reason why UPS is the only one that really makes sense right now. So, it's a boring story. Yeah, what AMD said. And then FedEx is terrible, DHL is really expensive, and that's it. That's all the options realistically. Okay though, guys. If you guys were interested in the Ducky board, I'm going to make a little video on it. Probably just do like the hyperlapse. I'll probably have that out. Honestly, not a bad little pickup if you guys were interested. But yeah, we'll talk more tomorrow. We have a lot of streams this week. We have tomorrow, Wednesday, and then I think I might actually schedule a build on Friday. I might do my personal build finally if it comes in on Friday. Because I ordered a different plate from Hype. Really excited. Got a little aluminum plate coming in. And then we have a stream on Sunday as well. So we're pretty stacked. It's a pretty normal week, I'd say, in terms of streams. Tom the Goat, he's like, I messaged him today. I'm like, I need a plate, but I don't want it to be red. He's like, got you, brother. I was like, cool. So red was the only option on the website. So I ordered it from him privately. But you guys have a good night. Thanks again to Ducky for letting us take a look at this today. I hope we get to see more stuff from them in the future. But yeah, let's find someone to raid. Let's see who's online. Streamer privilege? Nina? Is Nina online? Actually? Oh, she's not. I thought maybe she was. Let's go right Diego. He's building a Heine TKL. You guys have a good one. If you guys want to talk more about vinyl stuff, I'll make a channel. I don't know. I'm just now getting into it. So like it's gonna be a long process for me, but maybe we'll do that. But yeah, have a good one, guys. We'll stream tomorrow again. Tomorrow we're going to be building a... I don't remember now. 1 second. Oh, the Neo 65 Core Plus. I'm actually really excited to do that stream tomorrow. That's going to be a fun one. This is a client's board I put together on their behalf. So that's going to be a cool one tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Love you and have a good sleep, okay? Bye, everybody.